Hey there, it's Red. So today's video is going to be just a little bit different. As I mentioned before, I do like to journal a lot. It's something that I've really tried hard to get into the habit of. Honestly, I am just one of those people where I'm very big on documenting my life. Now, I always kind of on and off journaled, but I always had trouble kind of sticking with it. And then one day I had pulled out one of my old journals and I started reading old entries from years ago. And there were just things in there that I completely did not remember. You always think that you remember everything in your life, but reading that showed me just how much I didn't remember, and I didn't like the idea of missing so much of my own life. And so I've really tried to make it a habit. I don't journal every single day, but I try close. Even if I don't write a whole lot, I just, I try to record my thoughts, my day, whatever. So today I'm going to be showing you my kind of small journal collection and how I journal a little bit. So my first one is this journal here, and it has blank pages in it. It's not lined, but this was actually, I have stuff falling out of it. This was actually given as a gift to me to be a dream journal because I have very intricate dreams. I tend to remember my dreams. I have very elaborate dreams, so this was given as a gift so that I could write them down. And I wrote them in here for a while, but now, and I still use it sometimes, but now I tend to write my dreams down just in one of my ordinary regular journals or whatever journal is more easily accessible. Someone had actually commented on one of my other videos when I talked potentially about doing a journal video, and she had actually asked me to maybe even read excerpts from my journals, which I am going to do. And I was going to read one of my dreams for my dream journal, but looking at these, they are so ridiculously long that we would just be here all day if I read this to you. I mean, this would take me forever to read to you guys, and this is just a couple pages of one dream. So my next journal, which I actually haven't even taken out of the wrapper yet, I got only a couple of weeks ago when I was visiting San Antonio, Texas, and I just got this one when I was at the Alamo in the gift shop. I was at the Alamo, I wanted to get a souvenir, and a journal just makes sense because I like journals, I collect them. There's nothing to really show you inside here because I haven't written in it yet. This next journal was actually a gift to me from one of my classmates in my creative writing class. It was a Christmas gift, and it says The Poet's Notebook on the front of it, and it's got a quote on the back of it that says, "For me it all begins with a notebook. It is the well I dip into for that first clear, cool drink," by Rita Dove. And it's got blank pages, and it's just got these quotes from famous poets, and I don't know, I really like this notebook. The girl was super sweet, loved her to death, and she often was one of my peer review partners in that semester. So I guess she liked my writing, and this was sort of her sweet way of encouraging me to continue, which I will always appreciate, and I love it because now I have another notebook to add to my collection. So the next one I'm going to show you is this journal here. I've had this one for a long time. I think I've had it for 10 years, maybe a little more now. I got it when I was about 12 or 13 years old. I just remember seeing it in a Borders or Barnes & Noble or something like that when I was with my mom, and I just was so head over heels in love with this journal that my mom was nice enough to buy it for me, because I was 12 years old and didn't have money. I just thought this was so cool. I did and still sort of have a thing for chandeliers, and I loved it. Plus, at the time, that sort of bright green and black they were my favorite colors at the time. So this one, I'd done some journal entries in here, but when I was about 13, 14, that was sort of my poetry phase that I think most people go through at some point in their lives. I grew out of that. I don't really write poetry anymore. I will once in a while if it's an assignment for class or something like that, like a creative writing class or you know, a 301 class or something like that. For the most part, I don't know. It's just not my thing anymore. But back when I had this journal, it was definitely my thing. So let me see if I can find an excerpt for you. Let's hope that I can find something that's not totally 13-year-old angsty. There's one in here called Pride Sacrifice. Now, I haven't read this one in a really long time, so let's hope this doesn't just totally turn around and bite me for putting this on the video. Soon the darkness shall be spread, and all who wander shall be dead. Every soul the demons take, no second chance for one mistake. No longer will mercy be cast, for every breath could be the last. It's forgiveness that's been betrayed, the scars of sins forever made. The demons own blood's every drop, their thirst for death will never stop. Mournful cries these shadows bring, a painful song they're forced to sing. With the devil you rolled the dice, gambling life a sacrifice. Within pride you harshly fell, forever now you burn in hell. Okay, definitely a 13-year-old me. Moving on. Another one I have is this one here, which you can still actually find at Barnes & Noble. It's one of those designs that they just seem to always carry. I've seen it around for years. And they're usually pretty inexpensive. I don't know how much I bought this one for. I just randomly buy journals. I just really love journals. And I've only written like a couple of pages in here, and it tends to just kind of be for random notes. Like you can see here, I was working on a sewing project, and I just wrote a lot of the measurements and things like that for it. Then I have this journal here, which this was probably my main journal through high school. I feel like it shouldn't have taken me, you know, as long as it did to fill it out. I mean, it is completely full. It's entirely filled out. And it probably took me a long time, but again, this was just whenever I felt like writing. I'd go through bouts where I was really good at writing, and then I'd stop for, you know, 8 months, and then it'd be like, oh, I should start writing again. And then I'd start writing again, and then I'd stop, and you know how that goes. I guess I could probably read an excerpt from here. I will just read you the shortest entry I have in here, which is a whole sentence. Ever feel like you're just getting in the way? I do. This, looking at the date, this was sophomore year for me. Yeah, junior year? I don't know. Most of my entries, they're all several pages long, but apparently this one I just had to write down that feeling. Total teenage high school feelings in here. If you want a journal filled with high school angst and emotions, and that would be in here. But I still actually really love this journal. I mean, I don't know, this is just so me. This one is one of my absolute favorite journals, and it is my Wizard of Oz journal. I have actually only had this one a couple of months. I am still writing in another one, so this one has not been written in at all, but as soon as I'm very close to filling out the one I'm currently on, so as soon as that one's filled out and done, this is going to be the one I will go to next. And as I've mentioned before, I absolutely love The Wizard of Oz, so I had to have this journal. Some other journals I have are like this one right here. These are just little random short journals. I think I bought this in a 3-pack, and it had 2 other colors in it. These, you know, I mean, I won't really use them for any serious writing. I mean, I've used them to keep track of things, and I don't know. This is another one of those little ones. This one, because it was lighter, I just kind of started doodling on it. So my most current journal is this Wizard of Oz one here. This is the one that's going to have my most recent way of journaling. Now, I don't want to say I journal every day, but I get pretty close to it. I journal a lot. I try to do it every day. It doesn't always happen, but I try. And the way I journal is a little bit weird. For one, when I get done writing the entry, I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if it's going to look right in the camera because it looks pretty dark in the little camera screen. But these kind of bolded parts here, the reason they stand out is because I went and wrote back over the words with a red pen for emphasis, and there's no science to which words I pick out of certain sentence. It's just words that stand out to me. Maybe somebody's name, maybe a place, maybe a certain adjective, like, I don't know, it's just, again, whatever kind of stands out to me. And oftentimes I do little illustrations. You know, they're just doodling, but little illustrations. This is the one from this morning. This is the entry from this morning where I was recording a dream I had last night because I didn't want to forget it. So I just kind of doodled like a little illustration that kind of goes with my dream and my story or my journal, you know. Or when I was helping my friend put up a wall decal, I just kind of drew a little doodle of the wall decal. Sometimes I will actually go back and comment on previous journal entries. I'll just go back with a red pen and like make notes on my journal entries of my current thoughts, and I'll just date those so I know that I wrote them at a different date from the journal entry. Like in this journal entry here, clearly I was upset. There's the teardrop marks on the pages. So me being me, I go back through when I reread them and I just like circle the little teardrop and it says, I leaked sadness and it bled through. Because I think I had cried on the previous page, and of course the blotch bled through. So here's a random journal entry. I just tried to pick one that was a little less personal, but still kind of reflected me. Just happened to glance at the previous page before writing this. Seems that starting to write again really stuck, huh? I really do want to make journaling more of a habit. That's why I'm writing now. Will it stick this time? Probably not. But who knows? I can hope. I am tired and was going to put it off till tomorrow like I did last night, but I realized it was that kind of procrastination that leads to a lack of writing. I looked at a random journal entry from a previous journal, an entry from high school. I was so melodramatic and clearly favored a sophisticated and flowery way of writing. Hey, at least, you know, I don't take myself too seriously. Typical angsty, I'm so deep and profound teenager, right? It is interesting to see how much my feelings, perspectives, and opinions have changed. I didn't even remember feeling certain ways at certain events. I remember the events and some of the things that occurred, and I like corrected my spelling. Look at me, correcting my own journal spellings. How weird. No one will read it. Not true. I will. But still, it's the principle of me being totally weird and insane, and even more so now that I went on a random tangent about it in parentheses in the middle of a sentence in another topic. Welcome to my life and way of thinking. Well, I guess not welcome, since I'll be the only one reading this. And as they are my thoughts and patterns, and have been for, well, ever, I need no welcome, introduction, or any other greeting, and I'm still going on and making this worse. Okay, I'll stop now. Close parentheses. But not some of the things I felt and thought I had. Yay me for getting back on topic. Yes, I actually put that in there. But I guess that's the benefit of the journal, to remember these things and in some cases see the irony of the things I said because of now me knowing the future of then me. Funny, not really, but yeah. I'm still writing, yay! So I am going to stop there before it gets too long because most of my journal entries are really long. So this video is already probably going to be super long. So sorry, kind of. I don't know. I figure if you're bored, you probably haven't made it this far anyway. One of my journals is this one here. And this one, I really specifically wanted a soft cover, not paper, but a soft cover journal with blank pages. So when I found this faux leather one at Barnes & Noble, it was perfect because it's got the soft cover, it's easily manipulated, and it's got the blank pages. And this one is just kind of my whatever journal. Thoughts, agendas, dreams, schedules, memos, lists, it really doesn't matter. This is just the kind of whatever I need it for. It's just paper. So, I mean, I've got a dream written in here, and the little mermaid I drew because the dream was about mermaids, and got my work schedule from forever ago. I've even got YouTube notes and ideas for videos. So yeah, it's just kind of my whatever journal. Now we are getting into more art journal type things. This one is more, I guess this one is more of just like a regular sketchbook, less of an art journal. But, you know, I'll show it to you guys anyway. And it's just a regular kind of sketchbook. Just some random doodles, random bird I drew. As far when it comes to art, like, it's not like I'm, you know, super great at it or anything, but I have fun with it. This was like just a doodle I did when I was bored in class. You know, random monsters I draw. Or just a kind of random page that I did. Another one of my monsters. You know, I work as a barista, so I randomly do like drew like a barista cup. And this one, I only have a couple of pages to show you, but this is more of an art journal, just something I didn't keep up with. But this I got with the intention of being an actual art journal, not just doodles. You know, there is the first one, not super fantastic, but you know, it was still really fun to put together. You know, I mostly just painted a lot of it, so, you know, and there's like a little bit of writing in there. And another one which I just like I think I pulled this head like out of a magazine and then just drew on a body and stuff. But yeah, keep calm and glitter everything. Pretty solid advice for me right there. Keep calm and glitter. So I think that is all for my journals. I am really sorry that this turned out to be as long as it did, but it's up here. You'll be able to watch it or ignore it or whatever. I will have more videos up soon, and I will talk to you guys later.